What's up, everybody? It's Reagan from the Spurs Bros podcast here. Just wanted to give you a quick heads up. This is going to be an audio episode. Our video actually got corrupted when we tried to convert it and start editing, so that was an issue with our platform, but we should be back to normal next week. Just giving you a quick heads up. It's going to look a little bit different. This can basically be an audio podcast. Turn it on, walk away, let it run. Listen with us. We got a lot of great stuff to cover. So here it comes, episode 34.
Spurs Bros, welcome into episode 34 of the Spurs Bros podcast. There's a lot of rumors swirling around, trade targets, draft picks, moving back, moving up, all sorts of things. We're going to try to wade through all the muddy waters that is the NBA rumor landscape right now. Got a little reporter's corner going on. Mark Stein, Don Harris in the house. They're reporting on things that are happening to the Spurs, around the Spurs. We've got trade targets from the comments. Thank you very much for your support. To all the people that have liked and subscribed to our channel over the past few weeks, keep it up. Tell a friend. We're trying to grow. We're doing another giveaway. You guys have been such big supporters. We hit the 400 subscriber mark since last week. We're giving away one of our hats. So tune in for that. If you're the winner, we're going to get in contact with you, ship that out as soon as we can. We talked about Giannis last week. This week, Kevin Durant has been the next big name that's been tied to the Spurs. So we're going to walk through whether or not we want him and what the price would have to be for us to say yes. Keep hitting that like button. Hit us in the comments if we missed any trade targets. Let us know who you want to see in the Spurs jersey next season. And without further ado, here comes episode 34.
Spurs Bros! Welcome to episode number 34 of the Spurs Bros podcast, the Antonio McDyess episode.
McDyess.
My boy.
Shout out.
Let's go. I love McDyess, man. That guy, he didn't win a ring with us, but I seem to always like him. That was
One of the OG enforcers. I always loved him banging around, having Timmy's back.
Yeah, man.
I think unfortunately he was with us the year that we got upset by the Grizzlies, 2011, as the one seed. So I wish we could have got McDyess a ring, but I cried. Flashback. That was freshman year of high school. I was at a party and I literally was watching that game and I cried on the couch.
Damn.
That was tragic. I thought we had a ship in the bag and Memphis waxed us in 6.
Well, that actually kind of did open my eyes to how any team in the NBA can kind of beat anyone. Like someone said up to me afterwards, I was like, "We're the 1 seed. We can't literally fit
can't lose.
That doesn't make sense. We can't lose to an 8 seed." And then
Dude, they had a squad. That was like the Tony Allen days, right?
Zach Randolph.
Tony Allen would lock up Zach Randolph, Gasol. They were solid.
Yep. Yeah. No, they were great. They were great. Boys, it's been a week, but I missed y'all, man. But not as much as I missed our new and very valued Spurs Bros community. Boys, gents, thank you so much for continuing to subscribe and to engage with our content. We extremely appreciate it. We had no idea that so many people were listening. We love all the content, all the comments, the hate, the love. But man, we appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to share this with people that you think would be interested in other Spurs content. And we just, like we have said the past couple of episodes, we're going to keep coming to you all summer. So be on the lookout. And that's
every week we're here, man. Yeah, the interaction has been great. Like, we've asked for feedback, and the last 2 weeks we have gotten feedback, positive, negative takes. I like this trade. I don't love this one. This is what I think we should do. All that stuff has been awesome to see people, just knowing that you guys are listening and care enough to take the time to write out a comment and let us know what you're feeling and whether we're right or wrong or whatever. Keep it coming.
Yep.
Keep them coming.
If you're a hater, keep coming in those comments because we're gonna kill you with kindness, my bro. We're here for it. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep the hate coming. It's fueling us to be better and to get more knowledgeable and understand everything. But we know ball.
All are welcome.
Let's go at it.
We know ball.
To break some
and with all those new subs, what'd that bring us? Another giveaway. Let's go. Hat giveaway.
That's exactly right. Stuart, thanks for bringing it up. That's what I was going to say. Spurs Bros. Whoever was our 400th subscriber, thank you for being our 400th subscriber. With that said, we are now giving away a Spurs Bro first edition Spurs Bro podcast hat. So, Reagan, I think you've got a wheel, if I'm not mistaken.
I do have a wheel.
I'll let you share your screen again. Can't believe we did this just last episode when we hit 100/300. Let's go ahead and see what we land with this time. God,
Yeah, dude, it's the fact that we're doing a 400 giveaway a week after we did a 100 giveaway is nuts. So, like, I would love to continue to do a giveaway every single week. If
what's
possible.
next? We do 600, 750?
Let's do
500. Just keep
500. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do another spin tomorrow.
I hope we do. That's the thing.
Let's set it 750. Let's set it 750. That's a good next goal. We got to push these people.
We're giving away a car. A Belgian.
Giving away the Kia that Blake Griffin jumped over.
Yeah.
All right.
Spin that wheel.
3, 2, 1. What do we got?
That's a lot of names. What do we got?
Oh, it's almost my wife.
That would not be fair. OBJ Dadden? I don't even know how to pronounce
OBJ to Don.
OBJ to Don. Congrats.
OBJ to Don. Hey, thank you for being here. I hope you're listening right now.
We're probably sending that shit to Europe, bro.
I love it. That's fine. Hopefully it clears customs, man. If it's going to Paris, that'd be fantastic, man. They'll love it. Yeah, man. OBJ Didon. Hopefully we're pronouncing that right. Thank you for being a subscriber. We can't wait to send you that hat. If you liked it, if you do get the hat and you like it, put it on. Take a photo if you've got X or whatever. Post it on X, and we'd love to repost it, man.
Tag us, tag us at Spurs Bros Pod. But I gotta go find this guy, figure out your information. So we'll get that to you as soon as we possibly can.
Awesome, boys. Well, again, we are, as we mentioned last week, we're still in the weird middle odd days of the pre-summer events that are about to happen, right? So the pre-draft, pre-free agency stuff, but that's all fine because Spurs Twitter keeps it interesting for us. With we create our own smoke screens around here. We have no idea what's happening. We don't know who's a reporter. We don't know who's a bot account. We don't know why there's so much infighting between the Spurs community. It's so weird. I thought
no idea.
Yeah,
but through all of that, we're trying to like Alex said last week, we're trying to find some more clarity. So we've had Detective Stu on the case here. He's been deep into all the Twitter stuff, trying to sort through who's real and who's not. Also, his name is Stuart. His name is not Duke Shirt Guy. Yeah. So say hello to the haters, Stuart. But this is Stuart. Stu. So yeah, if you're gonna come at him, at least use his name. All right, he's not wearing a Duke shirt every week.
Use his name, or at least be better. Like y'all had a perfect layup. He was wearing a Duke shirt, and if you said he had a bad take, you could have said Dookie with the Dookie take. Just that is something. I don't know. They say something.
That's what you got. That would have been yours, Al.
Stu loves Con. They're hey, Duke couldn't close it out in the Final Four, and Stuart can't close a take. Whatever. Come on, it's right there for you guys. Come on.
Let's get into it though. So, according to rumors, maybe
rumors. Let's call it rumors.
Yeah, depending on who tweeted it.
Yeah, Shabad Khan said this is according to
he says he's with Sports Illustrated. So
right, he said that Victor Wembanyama will not participate with Team France at the EuroBasket 2025. This is per sources. While he initially committed, Wemby is now expected to shift his focus toward recovery and rebuilding conditioning following an extended absence due to his obvious DVT in his right shoulder. I mean, again, this is not. We don't need to spend time on this because I don't even know if this is real. But
bro, I just did a deeper dive. I think he might be a professional cricket player. Quoting
that's
right
big
now,
over there.
Yeah, well, I know it's big over there, but they don't know anything about the Spurs.
Okay, so
again, this is the stuff that we have to try to sort through every single day. This was not available information earlier this afternoon when it came out, but apparently he said that Wemby is not going to play EuroBasket.
Which is exactly what we'd expect.
Yeah. We talked about that a month ago. None of us wanted that. We all said, nah, dude, focus on the summer, recovering, chill out, and come back ready for next year. Don't be traveling to France and playing Euroball. No one gives a shit about that. It's the Olympics or nothing.
We were talking about that in March or February. As soon as Wemby went that, we were immediately, absolutely not. Yeah. Shut him down. Nothing till September kind of thing.
Except for soccer with the kids in Peru or wherever he was.
Costa Rica maybe.
Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rica. Moving on though, This is real news from Mark Stein. CP3, Chris Paul, is probably not coming back to San Antonio. ABC Wired on the street is that he's looking at Dallas, the Dallas Mavericks, which would
Tough.
makes a lot of sense. Obviously,
Makes a lot of sense.
this could be his last year. Makes sense for him to go after a ring. And obviously, Nico Harrison's thing was like they're trying to play for a 3 to 5 year window. They've got the number one pick with Cooper Flag. They've got AD. They're really deep. They've got a guy in Kyrie Irving who's going to be coming back around January. Kind of makes sense for him to entertain Dallas in the meantime.
Wonder if he'll accept a second string role there. Something that couldn't happen in SA, but you would assume he'll say, "All right, Kyrie, you can start over me. I don't need to be a starter. I'll go play 15, 20 minutes a night," which we'd wanted him to do here in SA, but that didn't work out.
Right.
Once Kyrie's back, right?
Yeah.
Like the first, like he'd get 3 months of probably starting lineup stuff, and then it's like, all right, Kyrie. This is
Also, Nico values D. We know.
Oh yeah,
CP's,
defense wins championships according
to say
Nico.
the least, the liability out there on defense. So
now the other thing though that is interesting about this is Sam Amico did some reporting on this story as well. He said that the Portland Trailblazers could show interest in Chris Paul. They would want him to mentor Scoot Henderson. So that could be an option for him as well. That would be more along the lines of what he did this year with us. Like, hey, I know I'm not going to win a title, but I'm probably going to get to play. And I've got a high-level guard that I can play with. Versus Dallas, they might be thinking that with Cooper Flag, AD, Klay Thompson, Kyrie returning, that they might have an actual shot at contending somehow. Right. I don't see that, but I don't know. It was funny. Somebody quoted this tweet from Sam Amico and said, hey, they're sending CP3 around the country running a Mentor the Youth program like he just got out of prison or something. But I don't know. Whether it's Dallas or Portland or something, it seems like he's on the move and kind of been not forced out, but like just kind of the circumstances. There's not room for Chris Paul.
Yeah, it's what we expected even before we got the 2 pick and presumably taking Harper. We all assumed and said, probably don't come back next year. We'd rather get a better guard for a backup. Or if you do come back, you can play 15 minutes off the bench. But it wasn't something that we wanted, and we've talked about all season to already talk about next year. So, sad to see you go, but
love to watch you.
He did exactly what we wanted him to do, right? Like, could we have really expected more, or do we feel like he didn't meet expectations?
I think we all expect, he was midi god coming into the season, and that never played a role this whole season. But, he averaged, 7.5 assists? That's pretty solid for a 39-year-old. So he dished out. He got people the ball. Now looking back, we were never going to be a playoff team anyways, make a run. So, it's fine. But I think we all would have all wanted him to score maybe 10 points a game off 5 middies a game. That wouldn't have been too much to ask for.
I agree with you there. I think the one thing that he definitely delivered on was his mentorship of Steph Castle. And he, like we talked about it a few months ago in like February, March, closing out the season, he started to make reads that he had no idea about to start the year. And he credited Chris Paul with that. So like we've kind of drawn the parallel from Castle to SGA when Chris Paul was in Oklahoma.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe that could work. So salute to you, CP3. Gonna go back to hating your asses if you go to Dallas, but
especially Dallas.
Yeah. That's just the rules, dude. Yeah, man. Moving along to more real news. This comes from the GOAT in San Antonio Spurs reporting, which is Don Harris. Shout out Don. He said, quote, "For what it's worth, spoke with 3 NBA execs/coaches this morning. All 3 expect the Spurs to hang on to the number 2 pick and take Harper. All gushed about him, see as a future star. Number 14 may be in play, as are a couple of current roster players. Spurs have to address size, shooting needs. We all already knew that. Lots of exploratory calls, as always. Regular pre-draft business." So that's kind of what I wanted to center the rest of this episode around, which is, Chris Paul leaving. And if we all were being honest with each other, like, it makes sense for the Spurs to just stay with number 2. Stuart, what'd you say to me earlier on the phone? It's like, whenever push comes to shove, basically the Spurs are like, you know what, we'll just stick with what we have. Like, they're not going to do some sort of dramatic move.
It's when there's no chatter and no talking about us, that's when we'll make a move. When there's too much talk and all that, the Spurs are bound to do something, we won't do anything. Realistically, we'll take 2. And then, like you said, maybe 14, something more. more
Exactly.
spicy will happen. We'll trade that or whatever.
Right. So that's what I wanted to talk about, right? Assuming we take Dylan Harper at number 2, see where he fits in the background in our off the bench, right? To come off this for the season, see how he does, see how he meshes with Stephon Castle and the rest of the group. And then it's 14. Let's start with number 1, assuming that we keep number 14, right? There's, like Don just said, there's rumors that we'd probably trade 14 away for something else, a current player, trade back in the draft and for another player. Whatever the scenario is, let's just assume that we do keep 14. Stuart, do you have anybody that comes to mind that like is jumping off for your radar that you'd like to take at number 14?
There's a lot of guys who everyone's talking about, the Carter Bryants,
Yep.
Rasheer Flemings. Those are the names that everyone's putting with us. So realistically, they're getting probably a lot more buzz. They might be taking at 10, 11, 12. And then Al, your guy you've been on for a long time, the Noah Singh, he was supposed to be kind of a late lotto, around 14, maybe even up to 20. And then I saw a report today. Again, who knows what's real or not, but the Nets are thinking about taking him with the 8th pick. So who knows who's there, but I would assume we need definitely length and size, shooting, hopefully, especially since we'll be taking Harper with number 2. I'm way more in the boat of let's trade 14. We've been all of us have been saying this all season. We knew we were going to have 2 lotto picks or at least 2 first rounders with Atlanta, but we don't want to add another 2 19-year-olds to the team. Keep pushing them back. Our timeline of 2 19-year-olds wouldn't help. I'm just looking back at our last 6 years of drafting, and also we're not good with these late picks in the lottery. Let's take a look, guys. Let's go back to, this isn't a lotto pick, but it was, I think, 19th pick, 18th pick, 2019. Let's go to Luka Samanic. Where's that guy now? Where's that guy?
Maybe Europe?
Not in the NBA.
I don't know. He's not in the NBA. And who was taken after him? Brandon Clark, a guy we've been talking about this summer, apparently. Ty Jerome, someone who had a breakout year with the Cavs this year. Both of those guys probably would have been better on our team. 2020, who do we take? Did we take Vassell in 2020? Who went right after him? Was it Tyrese Halliburton? Have y'all heard of him? What's he up to these days? Tyrese Maxey? He went after him. And then 6th man of the year this year, Peyton Pritchard. All those guys. But who'd we take before him? Good old Devin Vassell making $30 million a year.
Yep.
Love him. 2021, Primo. 12th pick. 2021, Primo. Oh my God, where's that guy? Anyone heard of him?
I still remember the drink I poured myself and how fat it was when we selected Josh Primo.
Primo, 12th pick over Alpi Şengün. That'd be nice. Who was after him? Trey Murphy. Reagan, what do you think about Murphy? He's not on your list, isn't he?
I'd love him. I'd trade back to get Trey Murphy.
And then breakout star, top 2-way player this year is going to be great in the future. Jalen Johnson for Atlanta before he got hurt. He was taken after Primo. All those guys we missed on. 22. Most recent, Jeremy. Who was taken right after Jeremy? Good old J-Dub. Jalen Williams for OKC. All-star in his 3rd year. 2nd best player on probably a championship team this year. He was taken after him. And then even later that draft, we took Malachi right in front of Christian Braun and Walker Kessler. We know we're high on Walker Kessler. What's Malachi doing for us? What's he doing?
I didn't know Christian Braun was right after Malachi.
So
that's
all
really
these guys,
tough.
all these guys, 23 Wemby, and we can say, sure, all these misses that we had led us to Wemby. Thank God. 24, Castle. The point is, Vassell took out 11, Primo 12, Jeremy 9. Now we have 14. We're not good in this late lotto area. We've missed a lot in the last 6 years. I don't want it. Don't take another chance. I can trade it away. If we can trade it for Cam Johnson, that's been a lot of talk. Let's get him. 28-year-old in his prime, 3-and-D. We know what he can do. Let's not waste on a 19-year-old who has so much upside, and we keep missing.
Stuart, that might have been the best take you've had on this podcast.
That was my notes.
Oh, he did some research.
Yeah, like the research really showed through the camera right there.
Let's go.
You nailed that. The only thing I would say is so this is all between the 15 to 22 range, 12 to 22 range maybe of the draft, where we've been absolutely missing since 2019.
Yep.
So now with the news, I'm proposing this right now. I haven't talked to this about you guys, with you guys about this idea whatsoever until right now. With the news of Chris Paul not coming back in San Antonio and Stuart's analysis that we suck in that middle of the first round, late first round picks, where we do know we do have a history of the 27 through 30th picks.
Yep.
Absolutely nailing.
Keldon, DJ, Derek White, Tony Parker.
Tony Parker.
Those great.
Yeah. Yep. So if we're better in that spot, what if we trade from 14 back to the end of the first round?
where the Nets have two of them.
Well, the Nets have two of them, yes. But what if we use one of those late first round picks to get your boy Alec, Walter Clayton Jr.,
Dude,
to be our backup point guard?
I
We
like
get a
that.
22-year-old vet college championship winner to be our backup point guard. We probably get an extra pick out of it in the future since we're trading back 14 spots. He's currently
That
mocked
is Al's
28th.
guy.
That could be a really interesting move as far as trade backs go. I think we've decided we're probably picking Harper at 2 since last week.
For sure.
What if the trade back is at 14, like you're saying, Stu? Get the hell out of the middle, late first round, pick up an extra pick from the Nets, and we get Alex boy, Walter Clayton.
Yes.
He's undersized, and we know
Yep.
we like big guards. He's what, 6'2", probably?
Yeah.
6'1", maybe?
He's 6'3" and a
Super wet.
quarter, 200
We know
pounds.
that. Yeah, undersized, but I mean, we all like him.
So no, honest to God, Reagan, I thought about that. I forgot I was proposing a trade. I might have sent it in the group message. I forgot what I already said, but I love the idea of if we did trade 14 and somehow swapped with whatever end of the first round pick with the Nets, I'm assuming the Nets, then yeah, go after him because that automatically, again, what I've said before, I'll say it again. Undeniable that he's a winner. Undeniable that he has an NBA game. You could say about like defense wise, right? He could be a liability. I don't know what that's going to look like. That's fine. You can argue with me on that. But like as far as his offensive skill set, we know that will translate well. And the fact that he's 22, I like. I don't care that he's not 19. I like it because I want less downside risk to start. I want depth and I want production like right off the bench, right?
For that spot, yes.
Yeah, for that spot,
yes.
Exactly, right? So obviously Dylan Harper will play before him, but if say Stefan's out one night or whatever it is, and or we're down by 15, we need a little spark off the bench. We get Walter Clayton Jr. in there who hasn't had many minutes yet. He's not going to turn the ball. I mean, he might turn the ball over much, but like at least he got a great handle. He can score
and he can snipe.
Yeah, three. Right? Hit a couple three, whatever it is. Like, I like that idea to add to our bench. Then if you do that, though, then you're going to have to add definite size, right? You're going to need definitely another
300% need size, brother.
Yes. After that, if we did pursue that, we have Stefan, Dylan Harper, and Walter Clayton Jr., 6'5", 6'6" guards.
Yeah, they're all, 6'3" to 6'5".
Yeah, we need length,
and we need length
and size.
Right.
Whether we do that through the draft or not, I know at 14, pretty much all the area right there of the guys being chosen are all like 6'6" to 6'8" wings. So it would be ideal, but what if we miss again and then an 18th pick, 19th pick is the one who goes, right back at Cam Johnson. We know he's proven what he's going to do. Probably if we're getting Cam on our books, we probably need to get rid of Devin, probably, that's how the money will work out. We get Devin's contract off our books that we are all down with. We've been all down with that for the year. Get his contract off our books and have two more first round picks, 27, 29.
If there's a team to make this trade with, though, it is the Nets because they have four first round picks.
Yeah,
they're picking at 8, 19, and then they're also picking at 26 and 27, and that's one of those two spots is what we're talking about trade back for.
Yeah. Right. Shit, even if we could get 19, the better.
Why not? Like, it's going to cost us less. It's going to set us up to get an extra pick for the future. We swapped Vassell for Cam Johnson. I'm about that all day long. Cam Johnson's been to a finals with Phoenix. Like
6'8", shooter, consistent.
Consistent, mainly. Consistent and available.
Yep. Interesting. See, now that's an interesting take. I'm glad you brought that up, Reagan. And so that brings me to, I guess, Reagan, did you have any other idea if we did keep 14? Because Stu, obviously, we understand why now. You're against keeping 14, but Reagan, do you have anybody in mind?
If we did keep 14, the one name that I keep seeing thrown around that for me intrigues me the most is Rasheer Fleming from St. Joe's.
Okay.
And look, I'm the first to say I'm not the biggest college basketball guy. It's too hard for me to keep up with. I'm an NBA guy, tried and true. That's why I'm doing an NBA podcast. But I think, Alec, you did some recent film study on Rasheer Fleming. So, look, as far as like body type, archetype for that like 3-4 swingman, 3-and-D type player, I think that's what he is. But my one question on him is is the competition at St. Joe's.
Yes.
Is that lower competition going to affect his ability to succeed in his first couple of years in the NBA when we know that we kind of want to be pushing for playoffs right away? Is he going to be ready for that? Can he contribute having come from that lower competition?
Yeah, and you saw that does play a factor because they won like 30-4 on the year, got a 2 seed in the tournament, and then we're bounced in the second round. I think one of the first
I
top
don't think
seeds
they
that were
got to the
gone.
second weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that plays a big part in it.
That's exactly right. That's what most people say. Is just that, did he have enough competition at St. Joe's? But beyond that, though, I don't hate the pick. So, like you said, Stuart, as we just mentioned, Noah Senge, Carter Bryant, and Rasheer Fleming are the three names that keep on popping up, in and around our pick. We don't know what's going to happen, right? Imagine the Nets do pick Noah at 8. Does that mean who falls?
Yeah.
Somebody else falls in from the top 7 that didn't go, right? So if he fell to us, I like the idea. 6'9.5" with the 7'5" wingspan. He looks like one of those guys. Yeah, no, it's wild. He looks
Say
like
that
one of those
again.
guys.
Say height and wingspan one more time in case you didn't hear this.
Yeah,
listeners.
6'9.5" with a 7'5" wingspan.
7'5".
Yeah.
For context, Kawhi Leonard was 6'8" with a 7'2" wingspan.
Exactly. I was going to say he looks like I was going to say that a more exaggerated Kawhi Leonard. When he goes up for his jump shot, it just looks so long when he extends for his jump shot. It's crazy. But
you cannot teach that kind of length, dude.
No, you cannot.
That makes him like a 7-footer with wing speed. That's crazy.
Exactly. And looking at Tankathon, he's got a lot of stat strengths, and he doesn't have a lot of stat weaknesses. And me and my stat strengths versus weaknesses. No, I'm kidding. But he really did. He shot the ball really well this year, and that's one of the things that he probably come into the year or into a NBA team ready to shoot. I think he shot close to 40%. I don't know what his volume was from 3, but he shot, I think it was 39% from 3. I think he shot 75-ish% from the free throw line, so very good. Average 1.6 steals a game. So I like him to be able to come in, be a versatile player for us, which is exactly what we need right now. And then, hopefully maybe he can develop, right? He can be an early asset for us because we won't ask him to do too much, right? And then the same thing goes for Carter Bryant, in my opinion, right? He didn't score the ball a lot. I mean, I think Carter Bryant averaged 4, 5, 6 points a game in college at Arizona. He got more and more playing time. He got more and more action and more plays called to him toward the end of the season. But his stats weren't crazy. He just was effective with what he did, right? Yeah, he had 1.5 points a game. So I think
he has a lot of upside.
Right. So it's just don't have to do too much. Just don't blow your assignments, basically, is what we would need from
be solid.
Yeah. So
Carter Bryant, 37% on just under 3 attempts a game from 3. Rasheer Fleming, 39% on 4.5 3-point attempts per game. And Rasheer Fleming has shown the ability to improve his skills. I'm looking it up right now. His freshman year, he was shooting a hair under 30% on 2.5 attempts. Sophomore year, 32.4% on 3 attempts. And then his junior year, 39% on 4.5 attempts. So he took a major leap in his shooting ability mechanics from 3-point range this season.
Yep.
And if he can continue that sort of progression, you would think he can translate that to the NBA range as well.
He's also one of the top defenders in the draft, and we know we value that a lot.
Exactly.
100%. We need that. We need that.
You saw him in pre-draft workouts. I mean, I saw him doing some film. It's just so easy for him to get his hands into players, kind of tip balls out. I saw that multiple times in pre-draft workouts and scrimmages and stuff. It's just hard to deny. And the last thing I'll say is we're looking at St. Joseph's as a negative, right? As far as maybe he didn't play against good competition.
Potential, yeah.
But we could also flip it and be you know what? A pro's a pro. And if you got the skills, you got the skills. And you could say that because he went to St. Joseph's, he'll have a chip on his shoulder. And he's not a 19, 18-year-old. 20, going to be 21 years old. I like that. I do.
I mean, look at Jalen Williams, J-Dub. Stuart was just talking about him a second ago. He went to Santa Clara. He was a
Mhm.
third-year All-Star on a conference finals, about to be finals and potentially championship. Second guy, like
Love
it
it.
doesn't. Yeah, Steve Nash was Santa Clara. There's a bunch of these guys that Weber State for
Dame.
Damn.
Damian Lillard and his running mates, TJ McCollum, went to another
Right.
mid-major school. Like, there's plenty of guys who.
Steph
Kawhi
was
Leonard was
mid-major.
San Diego State. Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
like
White D2 to Colorado to
yes,
yeah. I mean,
All over the
exactly.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I say
pro's a pro. I like that,
a
Alec.
pro's a pro, and again, you could use it as the chip on your shoulder, right? You didn't go to Duke or Kentucky or whatever it was, and that's sort of like your calling card. Is I feel like I need to be humble and then just do my best, do my role, which is exactly what we need for a 14 pick. So that's just assuming we do keep it. I love Stuart's take about not keeping it for
Yeah.
the reasons. Reagan, do you want to kind of talk about what's happening with the development and just sort of like the NBA free agency landscape, some stuff that's sort of heating up? Talk about Shams reporting and whatnot.
Yeah, so Shams went on Pat McAfee yesterday or today, and he basically kind of hinted that this summer might be one of the craziest off seasons in NBA history. And we've seen some crazy stuff. A lot of this is coming from the collective bargaining agreement, the first and second aprons. We talked about it last week. We had some haters in the comments saying that we have no idea what this means for the NBA structures now, but we absolutely do. Teams have smaller windows when they sign multiple guys to max and supermax contract extensions on their team, a la the Boston Celtics. They're going to have to blow their roster up regardless of Jason Tatum's injury. They were already going to have to release or trade guys like Derek White, guys like Drew Holiday, potentially Kristaps Porzingis and Peyton Pritchard, who's due for a raise. These teams have smaller windows. They want more parity in the league. Hence, this will be the 7th unique championship team in the last 7 years. That's what the NBA has been pushing for, and it's working well. The tanking teams, like Stuart said last week, Utah, hashtag that's what you get for tanking full out. They don't get a top 3 pick. They're a bottom 3 team. They don't get a top 3 pick. So they want people to push for success while experiencing parity throughout the league. They don't want these super teams. So some of the things that are going to be happening is guys like Giannis and KD are already in rumors, but other guys like Derek White and Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, Dyson Daniels, Jaren Jackson Jr., Darius Garland, the other center, not Evan Mobley, but Jared Allen in Cleveland. These are massive impact starters, high impact role players on playoff contending teams that are going to potentially be available this offseason. And the Spurs are going to be linked. Just you wait. They're going to be linked with almost every single one of these guys because of the Alien and the Fox. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But I mean, the biggest name aside from Giannis is KD, Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper. Do y'all want Kevin Durant to come to San Antonio? Yes or no? One word first, and let's get into it.
No.
Alec?
No.
I say no. So we all say no, but what's the scenario where we would be open to it?
So it depends on what we'd have to give up. Obviously, that's always the question. I mean, that's like an easy answer to give, but like
for Fox, we got rid of the right guys.
Yeah.
Cheap, and it was like 2 firsts overall, 3 firsts overall.
It was it was 2 firsts and a fake first. Yeah.
That a couple weren't even going to convey to being first round picks. They ended up being like 2 second round picks anyways. So, and that's why, of course, we made the move. If it's KD and we get to get Devin off our contract, off our books, if we get Harrison has 1 more year on his contract. So pretty much any big trade that's going to happen, if it's us, Harrison's most likely going to be involved because any team's going to want him for 1 year and then let him go so they can have some cap space. So Harrison, Devin, we don't want to go to Harrison, but if he's going to have to be included, Devin, we're super down for. If that ends up being a KD for 2 years and, we have to pay him fat and we only lose maybe 14 this year and want one more other first in the future, sure. But, and that could happen if it's the Fox thing where if KD comes out and says, and there's a lot of links, we know he wants to start a WNBA team in Austin. He wants to be in Texas. He wants to be around San Antonio metro area. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that could happen if he makes it happen. then yeah, well, obviously we're kind of down for it. Like we always said, we were down for Giannis if the price is right. Of course, we don't want to give up 4 guys, 7 picks. Like we don't want to do that. But guess what? If you're saying you're down for KD for a cheap, and you're stupid as shit if you're saying you're not down for Giannis then, because he's what, 10 million more a year. And if we have to give up one or two more first, but for Giannis at 30 compared to KD at 37. So if you want KD, you can't say you don't want Giannis. And if you want Giannis, you can't say you don't want KD. So, of course we'll take either of them if the price is right, but we'll see how it all plays out.
I mean, KD, yes, he's older, but the money isn't that he's due $54.7 million next year at age 37, and then he's an unrestricted free agent the year after that.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a potentially a 1-year rental,
right?
Yeah,
just to give Phoenix their future back.
Yeah, Windhorst was saying it'll be kind of like the Fox night. If you're getting traded, there's gonna be a mutual agreement that we're extending him for another year.
And that's exactly what we're talking about with the Boston scenario. That's going to give us a legitimate 2-year win. It's not going to be some 5-year extension for Fox and some 4-year extension for KD. Those are going to be 2- and 3-year deals where it's like, all right, boys, we're going to pay you. We're going to be in the second apron. We can't do jack squat for the next 2 seasons. Go win us a title.
Yep.
Go win us a title. Straight up.
And like you said, Celtics did win. Do you think they regret it now? Absolutely not.
Hell no, they don't regret it.
Year. They still had a sick year this year. We're the 2 seed. And
they were still favorites to win until Jason Tatum went down.
JT went down. I mean, they were down, I guess, 2-1 in the series then, but that was a close game when they ended up going down 3-1 when he got hurt. But, yeah, Celtics fans do not regret it at all. You think they're saying, oh, dang it, we got to get rid of Drew and Kristaps this year. I wish we would have won that championship last year. No. No one gives a shit. Winning solves everything, like we said. And if you do win, if we gut our team, whatever, we don't even want to gut. But if we do shit, we get Giannis and we win next year or 2 years from now, you think anyone's going to be saying, damn, I miss Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes on our team. I wish we had them still. No one gives a shit. We'll
be rejoicing that the race for Sace has been completed after 11 or 12 seasons.
Winning always solves everything.
Fixes everything.
And you know what? And so that was kind of sort of my point, which is, my no to KD was because if you're going to go down that route of basically trading for a 37-year-old player, getting, you're in the win now era, but is he enough to get you over the hump to win now? No. So you might as well go with Giannis if you're going to try to win now.
Yeah, if you're going to go that route, you might as well go Giannis. Or, if we get KD and you don't have to spend as much for Giannis, you better be using those other 2 or 3 first-rounders that you would use for KD that you would use for Giannis to go get a Cam Johnson, Naz Reid, other guys who are going to help you win now. If you're getting KD or Giannis, you're going for win now. You're trading picks. You're doing all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're cashing in all the capital for the next 2
And we saw so much
basically.
shit on our comments that apparently no one wants Giannis. We know it's very much 50-50 on all Spurs world. Same with KD. But if you want either of them, you got to go all in and win now. And if you don't, realistically, we're not winning the next 2 years of championship. We're still going slowly upward the trajectory, and it's going to be another 3-4 years before we're doing what OKC is doing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my last point, which is exactly that. I think you keep on hearing from executives or reporters or just from the front office basically saying, oh, the timeline fits Wemby's timeline, fits the timeline. And obviously KD doesn't fit the timeline. And so Giannis more so if you're trying to win right now, but definitely De'Aaron Fox does, right? He's still 27, 28, just entering his prime. Obviously there's still a lot of years left to build something cohesion around and a long-term thing. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
What's wrong with multiple timelines though? Because what did we have the last time we won a championship? We had the big 3 and we had Kawhi. We had the aging, proven, championship roster with the next cornerstone coming up. And we know how that worked out, but that's not what's supposed to happen. We had Kawhi, we had Danny Green, we had, Patty Mills was younger than that group, than that older group. That's a proven model. What's wrong with 2 timelines?
Yeah.
Figuring it out together, winning now, the older group goes on and does their thing, and then we maintain that younger core for future success, and we can continue revolving that in and out exactly like OKC is projecting to do.
Yeah.
And that's how, you're right, actually, that's how we did get our 5. 05 and 07, Tony was still, that was before Tony's prime. And then 14, that was Tony, like, course, end of Tony's prime. We didn't really get one in those 6 years, that gap. But 03, 99, end of D-Rob, Timmy D coming up. So that's what we said last time. Why not go for a Giannis, and it'll be on Wemby's timeline? But it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Already up,
I mean, I have to correct you, Stuart. Tony won Finals MVP in 07 against Cleveland.
Oh yeah, 07. That's true.
Oh, how old was he?
He was in 07. He was drafted in what, like 2000, 2001. So I mean, he was probably like 26. Like
he was picked. He was in the 2001 draft. Wasn't he 19 when he came in?
Yeah.
So
he was
later. He's
25.
Yeah.
Okay.
25.
Yeah.
So before your prime. So we've seen it work for 5 championships over the last 26 years. You know, it works.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, kind of where does that leave us, right? Okay. If we're being realistic, as of whatever it is, May 28th, as we're recording this, and June, whatever, is about a month away from draft night. We're being realistic. Even I last week said, if I'm being real, we're not going to pick number 2, or we're not going to do good. But if I'm being real, I think we are going to pick number 2. And then 14 is definitely up in the air. I would like to keep 14 low key, but that's just me. Like you said, Reagan, if the right price comes up where we can trade back, get somebody and another player in return, that's fine with me too. So that's sort of what the realistic picture looks like. Keep number 2. We keep building slowly. We got Stephon, Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, our favorite person, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. Beyond that, who else do we need? Again, another wing. We need more length, and we need a big guy, a backup center. So anybody that comes to mind as far as like late draft in the second round for us, the 34th pick or whatever it is we're picking, or in free agency for a big man. I'm still looking, man. I'm still trying to find a person.
I don't know anything about the 38 range except for Maxime Reynaud, who's Will's little chess buddy from Stanford.
Whoever they are, they'll be in Austin regardless. So
right, yeah, it'd be a two-way. Like, he's not going to be a full-time player to look at Harrison Ingram this season. But from the comments last week, like we said, people have been engaging with our stuff the last few weeks here.
Thank you.
And last week in the comments, we had some people propose some trade targets. So I want to walk through these 3 people with you guys.
Okay.
First one, go down to Memphis, Tennessee for a former Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. Would he make any sense on this roster? And if so, what would the price be to acquire him? Personally, I don't think he has any business on this roster.
I agree.
Love that he got his DPOY, but let him go figure out his stuff with Jaw and Desmond Bane down there. That's an division trade we would have to make there. He's due a lot of money over the next coming years. He's going to get another max extension whenever his current contract is up. I don't think his offensive game is as nice as some people, like a Kevin O'Connor of the world, thinks that it actually is. He's got a funky looking shot. To me, it's funky, bro. Like, it is straight 1970s disco funky, like Funky Town. And to me, when you can shoot well when you have a shot that looks like that, but that brings open the door, the opportunity for inconsistency. And we all know how we feel about inconsistency a la Devin Vassell. I don't want Jaren Jackson to experience some sort of slump come the conference finals and that be our doing. So I say no.
Especially this summer, he's at like his highest peak he's been, at his highest value. Why would we trade for him now? Just go get Giannis again. If you're going to go trade for Jaren Jackson Jr., it doesn't make sense. I think he honestly would be a good fit on our team. Any big guy who can shoot next to Wemby, I think would honestly be a good fit. That's why I said Laurie Marketing, good fit. Giannis, he would do other things, but great fit next to Wemby. Triple J, I honestly think he would be a good fit, but no, I would never pay him what he's getting.
Yeah.
He's already at 23 on his rookie extension, so you like that's going to be in the 35 to 40 range. It's got to be
higher,
for his extension, for his prime contract, ages basically 27 to 31. Yeah, he's going to be doing a lot of cash.
I don't like it. I don't have. I'm just going off of instinct. I was never really like afraid of Jaren Jackson Jr. Everyone's like, "Oh, this guy is just like so impressive." So this number one. He is injury prone. We'll just say that. So That's number one. Number two, the shot thing. That's a big bugaboo for me. I don't like that.
If it goes in, who cares?
And number three, there's like one time over my career where I was like, like where you're watching a game and some dude's just torching us. And
I'll say he tortures us a lot, dead ass.
does he a lot? I feel like there's only one time where I'm like, I hate this guy right now. Only one time. But there's other players who it's basically every elite guard. We talk about this in the NBA who just absolutely torches us. But he was never really one of them. Like, I don't know. Like, I just never really saw him as a huge X factor. I could be wrong. I mean, obviously he's going to get paid that money for a reason. And he obviously won DPOY, right? Like you said, for a reason.
He's a career 18 and 5 or 6 rebounds a game. Last year, he averaged 22, 5.6 boards, 2 assists, a block, and a steal. Last year, he was 37.5% on 5 attempts a game from 3. I think that's cool.
That's good.
But
it's
it's good. But I don't know. I like your take, Alec. Just as far as like feel goes, I don't feel that he's the right guy for us.
Yeah.
So next target from the comments is another defensive player of the year. I don't know if he was runner up this year, but I know he was top 3. Was an Australian fella out of Overtime Elite, Dyson Daniels. He was traded from the Pelicans to the Hawks this year. He was one of the guys that made a big impression in Atlanta. Deflecting passes, steals, blocks, it's like a menace on defense. Like I said, top 3 defensive player of the year votes as a guard is really, really tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Marcus Smart a few years ago was the first guard to win DPOY in like 20 years or something. So the fact that Dyson was even top 3 is really impressive. Would y'all want us to make another trade with Atlanta to get Dyson Daniels?
I'd be down. I would be down.
I like him, yeah.
I don't think they'll do it because of what he's just proven already over the past year. But I would be down, yes.
Yeah, I would assume they would trade Trey before trading Jalen Johnson or Dyson Daniels.
Yeah.
But because those guys are both younger and have a solid come up. They're both two-way players. I would definitely, maybe give them 1 or 2 of their first back, but yeah, Dyson Daniels,
that's the thing for me is like I would love him on the team, but like you said, Stuart, they're gonna 100% want their first round picks back.
Want the 2 back,
yeah, exactly.
And I don't like I want those picks,
for sure.
I want those picks more than I want Dyson Daniels.
Especially the more it looks like trade is going to be traded. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So third one, somebody said the name, and then I like suggested what we should trade for this name. But he's a familiar face. He's currently in Boston. I've said his name a couple of times on this podcast already. Derek White. Oh. Somebody said they want to go get Derek White and bring him home. Oh. And I said, Derek White for Devin Vassell straight up?
Well,
they both make like 30, right?
The money works, I'm pretty sure.
They know they're smart. They're too smart. They're too smart. They know better. They know it. Derek White is too good.
It came out that he's going to be it came out that he's going to be untouchable. That the ones that they'll get rid of are going to be Chris Stapps and Drew, but Derek is with JT and JB where he's not going anywhere. And again, they know that. Brad Stevens knows that. He knows what winning basketball is. He freaking coached Butler, little mid-major to multiple Final Fours. He knows what winning basketball is. Derek is a winning basketball player.
Yes.
He does all the things that we've said all season. Let's get Derek White. Yeah, because we've said that all season. Derek White is worth $30 million a year. Devin Vassell is not. Derek White does all the little small things that help you win a game. Devin goes and gets 20 or he doesn't do shit. So, I'd do Devin for Derek straight up, but Boston's not going to let him go.
I would do more.
It's a legal trade. It's a legal trade if you put it in the trade machine.
I would give up something else. I would give up 14. I would do something else to entice. Honestly, God, I think he's that much better, even though the contracts are basically even. I think I would do that much to get Derek White back.
You'd have to play him at the 3 with our roster. You'd have to play Derek White at the 3 spot. He's 6'4". I know he's long, and he's like he's like Danny Green. He's like the best shot blocking guard in the league. Timely threes, like you said, all the winning plays. But could we roll out? That would be a starting lineup of Fox, Castle, White, Barnes or Sohan, and Wemby. As far like that's what we're projecting out right now if we don't make any other moves. Would that work? Or would we be like drastically undersized?
And we were saying that we wouldn't want Harper starting because that wouldn't work because that's 2 6'5" guys, Fox being 6'4", and so we don't like that size at all. Obviously, D. White's a way better shooter than Harper. So that would be nice, and most likely a way better defender.
Yeah.
But
Way better defender
I don't
right
fuck
away,
with
yeah.
that. I don't fuck with that being super undersized 6'5", 3'6'5" guys out there.
I think that'd be really tough. We're so desperate for size, making that
Yeah.
move. That would be one of the reasons.
And
where
we
it's
saw
like,
all last year we cannot rebound the ball, and we put everything on Wemby, and it damn near killed him with a blood clot because he had to work so hard on defense both ways, and he'd be dying out there on the court. We need size to help the man.
Yeah, I agree. We do.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Derek White, like we all love him, but he averaged 4.5 rebounds a game. That's not enough of an impact there to take that like burden off of Victor Wembanyama. So
I love the boy. I love the guy though. Yeah, I would do a lot for that man for sure.
When you start thinking it, like before you start thinking about the context of what that trade would mean, Devin Vassell or Derek White, bro, send that trade to the league office yesterday. But then you start kind of playing it out, and it's like, I don't know if it would work for where we're gonna go.
For sure. That makes sense. Yeah,
we can cut this if y'all want, but I saw a man by the name of Ty Yeager say Stephon Castle for Derek White straight up. I'm not afraid to say that. No. Swear to God. Swear to God.
I know. Okay. I'm sure he's not afraid. Oh, gosh. Good for him. That's
what?
Good. That's
Steph
good.
Castle for bruh.
And
man, I hear stuff like that. I'm just thankful that like Spurs Twitter isn't in our front office because yeesh.
Gosh.
That would not look good.
I know what he's saying, but
I don't.
Nah.
The fuck? You know what he's saying?
I know where he's coming from, but I still think it's dumb.
Where's he coming from? Explain it.
He's coming from the fact that he projects Dylan Harper to be all that, so then we don't have to worry about them two.
Yeah.
And then Derek White can continue to play his thing. And what if Stephon doesn't develop a jump shot, et cetera, and hogs the ball too much or something? I don't know. And so he's like more of a black hole versus like a role player.
He probably wants to keep
Castle, known ball hog.
Yeah.
But
doesn't have a shot, but all those people say, let's keep around Jeremy though. Guy who doesn't have a shot for shit.
Right. True that. Fact.
He's the best ISO defender in the league, but it means nothing.
Stephon might be in a couple years.
I don't know. Like we said at the beginning of this podcast, that's like we don't know what's happening. There's a lot of but this is fun conversation. And we do, Reagan, thanks for bringing up some of those trade ideas from our comment section. This is great. If you are still listening up to this point, please say more. Say more of what you think. We would love to hear your ideas, and we'll talk about them on the podcast. So, I mean, boys, y'all have anything else other than that? I mean, we're going to keep waiting for some spicy news to come out.
What, two or three more pods still before draft night?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
And we're gonna have a guest that week before the draft. We're gonna have a guest on who's well plugged into the college basketball landscape. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna keep putting stuff out, like Alex said. Put more trade ideas in the comments. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Stuart, you got anything?
Nothing.
He had the take of the night right there, so I think he's fine.
He did have the take of the night, yeah.
Don't draft at 14. Yeah. Don't draft at 14. Trade it.
Yeah.
Push it back, trade back, or trade it away completely. All right, fellas. Well, hey, it was a good pod. A lot of stuff to talk through. We're going to keep pushing stuff out every single week. We want to hear from you guys. Keep commenting, hit like, hit subscribe, tell a friend. What's his name? If somebody's getting a hat, we're going to do another giveaway at 750. Keep pushing. We want to get there. We want to give stuff away from the Spurs Bros. Go Spurs, go.